Good morning, Mr. Kazi. I wanted to make a video to show you and answer some of the questions that you had. Let's begin with the EC, the emulsifying cell. To configure this, one good measure is that this here was tightened first and that this nut has a small amount of room to move. So I usually start by tightening here until this nut is in without much movement. Then it can be inserted and just put a little bit. Now this nut has not been tightened yet. Only once it is inside, then I will tighten this after. Next, you had an issue with your nozzle. The head of the nozzle attached from the neck. So you are going to need to identify some adhesive, maybe some kind of an epoxy that you can put and press and basically press them into each other. The direction does matter. The arrow is now pointing to the right. The light doesn't really let you see it, but the arrow is currently pointing to the right, and that's how it should go inside, with the arrow pointing to the right. When you attach the head, if you have another nozzle, you can use the other nozzle to identify, because this is the flat side. Let me see if I can focus this. This is the flat side of the nozzle. This is a conic shape to the right. You put the nozzle in and you can tighten. I only have one hand, so I'm not doing this properly. Once the nozzle is in place correctly and this has been tightened, you can also tighten here with a 1/2-inch wrench. I have 2 wrenches here, so I can hold it here with the 7/16 wrench, and I can tighten it with a 1/2-inch wrench here. Hold here, tighten here. So that is the EC and how you install it with the nozzle. You also have issue with the entire configuration of the EC. In your video, the entire high pressure cylinder is rotating. The way that you solve that is with this tool. With this tool, what you do is you will want to tighten here with your hands until this is as tight as possible. Then you want to align the high pressure cylinder so that it looks this way. So that way when you put the inlet reservoir here, it will be vertical. And once it is aligned, you can put this tool here and tighten it. Once this is tight, the high pressure cylinder will no longer move. Once the high pressure cylinder is no longer moving, you can install the EC. Once you have solved the problem with your nozzle, you can keep the nozzle in place without it leaking. And lastly, the weeping hole is what this is here. This is a hole that is similar to a weeping hole here. There is another weeping hole down here. These are intentionally here by design so that if it leaks from this weep hole, you know there might be a problem behind the nozzle. If it's leaking from this weep hole, you know that this nut has not been tightened properly. And if it's leaking from this hole, you know this nut has not been tightened properly. Please let me know if you have any other questions, and I will do my best to answer them.